Welcome back. I want to share something I picked up from Jonathan Cahn in the Book of Mysteries. It begins with the teacher and the student, and the teacher asks this student a question as they see a father carrying in his arms an infant son. And he says, as a man carries his son, when is it that a man carries his son? And the student says, well, when he's an infant, when he's a baby. He said, yeah, well, when else? Well, when his son is too tired to continue walking, or when his son is sick or disabled. And he said, when else? Oh, when he embraces him. So this just made me think, as the baby of our family, and my parents are long gone, and there's a picture of me taken with my mom. She was terminally ill. We went to a bed and breakfast up in Michigan. And I'm bending my knees, trying to make myself shorter. And it's obvious that I'm doing it in the picture, but I swear I'm twice the size of her. She had shrunk some, and it's like, how did I come from there, and how did she ever hold me? But one of my favorite pictures that goes way back, probably to 1949, is when my brother Jim was born, my parents' first, my oldest brother. And the way, I think it's my dad holding Jim, and then he's like kind of playing with his foot, and it's just amazing. My mom used to always marvel at like how every finger and every toe and every nail is tiny, but it's perfect. Human life is a miracle. So, did you know that Scripture says that God carries us as a father carries his son? That's what Moses shares in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 31. So this is the final book of Moses. And then he says, then you saw how the Lord your God carried you, as a father carries his son, all the way you went until you reached this place. How does a father carry his son? Well, any good dad does it firmly but gently, and there's love. I mean, it's kind of like the picture that I'm saying about my dad and my brother Jim. Do you realize that God does that for you? So when does he do it? Well, he said he did it the whole time while they were journeying through the wilderness. It wasn't easy. This life isn't easy. And sometimes we get weary, and sometimes we're ready to give up. So I challenge you to remember this image this week as you go through difficult times of a man carrying his son. It's a picture of God and his people. It's a picture of God and you. The wilderness journey, it's a symbol of our journey through this life. So if your journey through this life is rough, well, you kind of fit in. And you need a father who's there for you. And going back to the old covenant, in the roughest times, it's as a father carries his son, he will carry you. When you find yourself in the valley, when you find yourself in the lowest of times, he'll carry you. I was just talking to students recently about one of the most difficult chapters of my life as I walked through a divorce. And though I can remember all of the things that happened 20 years ago, 23 years ago, there's no pain there anymore. There was at the time, but now it's kind of like I realize that God carried me through that time. And now I can talk about it, and it's nothing like what it was at the time. But even at the time, God sustained me, even though it didn't even feel at times like it was my life. You won't see God's arms with your eyes, but sometimes you'll feel them. And I hope you feel God's presence in your lowest of times. There's one other time the teacher told the student that a father will carry his son, and that's when his son has died. And so when you close your eyes for the last time in this life, the arms of your father will once more hold you and bring you from this wilderness into the real promised land. Remember that simple phrase, as a man carries his child. May you know that God will always carry you, especially through the most difficult times. God bless you. Have a great week.